Hello and welcome back to another episode of Battlefield 1943 The Forgotten Series, a series where I show clips from matches that didn't end up in my main Let's Play series, so that they will not be forgotten. In the last episode, I described one issue I had with the design of Battlefield 1943, that is that sometimes a match can end up in one team trapping the other team in their home base with as good as no chance of ever getting out of their spawn. In this episode, I want to discuss what possible solutions could have been implemented to prevent this problem. And you might ask what the point is of such a discussion for a game that it's not even possible to play anymore? Well, because it's fun, plain and simple. Now, let's discuss a few possibilities. The first solution that comes to mind would be to have an area surrounding each home base that the other team couldn't get into, like a protective dome. This is the solution that was used in an early version of Battlefield 43, you know, the custom Fortnite map inspired by Battlefield 1943. One way this protective dome could have worked in the game is similar to the way the outer bounds of the map work, where you get a warning message and a few seconds to turn around before you die. Alternatively, it could have worked like it did in Battlefield 43, where you started taking damage as soon as you went inside the dome of the other team. Now, this approach of having a protective dome could have some unfortunate exploits. If you had a plane on your tail, you could just head back home to get inside your own dome so that the enemy will not be able to get you. It also wouldn't really prevent base trapping, because if a team had all its forces placed right outside the dome, it could still be pretty difficult to get to a flag, as everyone would just concentrate their fire on anyone exiting the dome. You also had to make it so that the enemy bullets couldn't enter the dome, otherwise you could just shoot at the enemy carrier from outside the dome and you were back to square one. It also would take away a really intense and fun moment in a match. Those first minutes where you get into a plane and rush towards the enemy carrier to try to take out as many planes and landing crafts as possible. During those initial minutes, you have to make quick decisions, go for the planes or take your chances on the landing crafts. On matches with balanced teams, that was so much fun. A possible solution to this could have been to have the size of the dome be very small or even non-existent at the beginning of a match. Then the size of the dome could start to increase if a team was being trapped at the carrier, or if a team was behind in points and had not captured a flag for a long time. Make the size of the dome big enough, and at some point the trapped team should be able to take a flag. And if the match started to turn around for the losing team, the dome radius could start to shrink again. That way, the protective dome would have been a feature that constantly tried to provide balance to a match. Another possible solution to the base trap problem could have been to give the trapped team temporarily more powerful weapons. If the game detected that a team was being base trapped, the game could, for instance, give them a free air raid to take out players camping at the shore, in addition to making their anti-air guns do more damage for a limited time. Now, if you don't like the idea of one team suddenly getting more powerful weapons, another possible solution could have been to make it so that the carrier had more defensive weapons, so that they could be more effective to defend their friendly planes and landing crafts. For instance, in addition to the normal anti-air guns, which I think is supposed to be 40mm bowfire guns, you could also have had other weapons on the carriers, such as the 5-inch 38 caliber dual-purpose naval gun. These could have been indestructible, so that they will always pose a threat to both enemy planes as well as enemies camping at the shore. In addition, these could have been AI controlled, so that you wouldn't have to depend on other players for that extra layer of defense. And if you take a look at the carriers in Battlefield 1943, you even have some other type of naval guns already placed at the carrier. I don't know exactly what type of guns these are supposed to be, although the housing do remind me a bit of the dual-mounted 5-inch 38 caliber guns. Except for the size, they look so small.
It's such a cute little gun. You want to shoot some planes? Oh yes you do. Oh yes you do.
You even have something similar on the Japanese carrier, only their guns are mounted on the side of the carrier. Now, it would probably be easy to dodge a single shot from such a gun, but if you have a whole row of AI-controlled guns firing at you at once, trying to base trap an enemy team becomes a very risky endeavor. However, I would probably have made it so that these guns wouldn't activate until a couple of minutes into the match, just so that you don't take away that tense and fun moment at the start of a match where you rush towards the enemy carrier. In addition, the range of these guns should have been pretty limited, so that they would only fire on planes and vehicles close enough to base trap. You could probably have had some sort of AI-controlled guns on Guadalcanal as well, just to make it a bit more difficult for the enemy team to wreak havoc inside your home base. Another suggestion that might have helped slightly with the base trap problem, although only a little, would be to make it so that you couldn't steal enemy vehicles from their home base. So no stealing of planes or tanks from the home base on Guadalcanal, and no jumping out at the Japanese carriers to steal their planes on Wake Island and Iwo Jima. But this should have only applied to their home base. Stealing tanks and planes from an enemy flag should still be allowed. The last possibility to prevent base trapping that I'm going to discuss in this episode is simply to punish players participating in base trapping. This is how it's done on some of the Project Rome servers in Bad Company 2. I don't know the exact details of what triggers the punishment and exactly how they are punished, but you could have had a system where the game tries to detect if you are participating in base trapping, and if you are, you get a warning first, but if you continue, you are punished, for instance by being kicked from the match. Now, it's important to have a few warning messages first, just in case you participated without thinking or didn't notice that the enemy team was trapped at their carrier. It can be easy to get carried away. The game could then keep track of your previous offenses. If this was your first offense, you get several warnings before being kicked, but if you have a track record of repeated base trapping, you get a single warning before being kicked from the match. This track record could be time limited, so that if you started to behave, after a while, perhaps after a few weeks, you would get back to receiving several warnings before getting kicked. So what do you guys think? Could any of these solutions have worked? And would they have been suitable for Battlefield 1943, or would they have ruined the fun of the game? And do you have any other suggestions of what might have worked? If so, please let me know in the comment section below. I would love to hear your ideas. But let's get to the match that I'm going to show you today. This was a match that was recorded in June of 2023, and that would have been the 231st episode in the series. And as you might imagine by the topic of this episode, this was a match where my team ended up being base trapped. This was actually not the worst case I've ever seen, as I did manage to get to the island a few times after the trap started, but it was a pretty frustrating match nonetheless. And without further ado, here are a few moments from that match. I hope you enjoy. I think I will just go straight for the boats. Or maybe not. Okay, let's go for one of these boats. Come on. Yeah, Brody. At least I got him as well. Hello there, Gary. Where is that guy? Okay, there's a guy. There's a guy. Yep, Bronson. No, I wasn't finished. Where did that guy go? He will kill me with a rifle grenade. I don't have rifle grenade. Yeah, that's so bad. The bayonet would have been the correct weapon. No, that's... Oh yeah. Come on, drive the boat. There we go. Okay, will we be spawn camped now? Come on, drive the actual... Yeah, there we are. Oh, come on. Oh, there's a guy in a tank. Well, you shouldn't actually... This is not safe, my friend. Yeah. And now we will be spawn camped. Come on. Should jump out immediately. This does not help at all. Okay. Ow! Why are you just standing there? Come on, keeping off me. Go on the empty here. Ah, that's stupid. Ow. Not sure if that was... Yeah. Yeah. That's not going too well. Why do they do that? What's the point of keeping us spawn camped? No? What's the point? Okay, let's see, can we do anything? Okay, there's a guy up there. Let's look after planes. Yeah, we are being shot at. Let's see if we can do anything. But of course now everyone knows that we are just coming this way. Yeah, there we go. There we go, Castle. No! It was so bad. There's a guy over there. Hello, Ursula. Finch! No! Yeah, we got Finch! There are guys over there, I think. There we go. We got Daddy. No, I didn't get him. Ow. Ursula got me. No, the match is over. Oh well. And that will be it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.